I was cheated on and she said it was rape, but I got payback. Hi everyone. This is my first post ever on Reddit, but I'm not really on social medias. I recently sacrificed most of my social relationships to only keep my productive one. And I need to get this off my chest. This story began 5 years ago. I was still at school and my ex-19F and me 20 meters met there. She was arriving during the year and was in a group of people when I approached her. She had a good figure, I'm a *TT guy, and a very innocent-looking face. Her eyes started glowing when she looked at me. But I played it mysterious and inaccessible, and it worked, soon a friend in common. We had came to me telling me she found me attractive but was scared of approaching me. We were flirting and she told me she had a very dark background. She was living alone in an apartment paid by the state, since her parents abandoned her when she was very young. We'll not dive too much into it, but it might give you some closure on what's about to be told. Long story short, we end up kissing and get together. She told me she was a virgin, and for once I was willing to do things right with her, so we really took her time. And I gave her the best first time I could after about 6 months of being together. Trust me, she'll remember that one for a long *king time. Something got my attention when she came. As she said, "Oh my god, this guy," like if she have had other partners to compare it to. Which seemed fishy, but I was young, in love, and happy, so I didn't think much of it. We were very happy for a couple years. But all of a sudden she started being unresponsive when we were together, almost hiding herself in mutism when I asked what was wrong. And it really concerned me, as she used to tell me all about her problems. I even became like a psychologist to her, trying to make her feel good when her past came back to hit her in the face. I really did everything I could for this girl. Told her all about how strong she was. For being able to overcome her past trauma, a lot of it came from her being abandoned. But also she was abused by people who were supposed to care for her when she needed guidance. So I wanted to know what's up, and I had the gut feeling something bad was about to happen. I wasn't wrong. This night she confessed to me how bad she felt, and as usual, I was trying to make her feel special in order to ease her wounds healing. We had wonderful shreks and went to sleep. I decided to go through her phone, sneakily used her asleep face to use the Face ID, and searched through her IG history. In the main section of her DM was nothing unusual. But in the hidden section, I don't recall what it's called, as I'm not a social media person. I found only one person. I clicked and then I saw her texting to who she later called one of her co-worker. The only thing I remember from the conversation was her casually asking, "Oh please, I want you to lift me up." I almost screamed in shock. But I kept it for the next day. It was hard for me to keep it quiet. But I was exhausted from our little session and I ended up falling asleep, angry AF. About 2 hours later, I confronted her the next day. And she got her phone out, admitting the guilt. Surprising, I know, but told me nothing had actually happened. She also told me he looked a lot like me and that he blocked her. As soon as she started making advances to him and showed me proof off both of these statements, she also begged me to keep her. And I figured at the time I could let it slide since he completely neglected her and even blocked her. I lectured her on it, and the next day she was very touchy, very nurturing, and super smelly. Maybe in an attempt to make me forget all about it and keep our relationship healthy. I forgot to mention she started working in parallel to her studies. And so did I. Around that time, I was just done with studies and started working full-time. I heard from a friend we had in common. She had made friends that were very *chi and annoying, and he was reluctant to talk to her since. He felt like she had changed. Her friends were the kind of girls that paint their head in blue and hang out with men all the time. She had always struggled to make friends, so I thought nothing bad about it, and she even told me about her friends often, and I honestly was happy for her. It then happened. It was the end of last year, and we were together since for years or so. A random woman DM'd me on IG, but I straight up told her I wasn't interested and in a serious relationship. It was suspicious, as that B** was handling rejection like a champ. She kept going at me, telling me how handsome I was and how she knew my girlfriend didn't deserve me. I washed her off for a couple days, but she was being too insistent that I finally accepted a coffee with her, making it very clear that nothing would happen. 5 minutes after, I had a call from my GF, telling me it's all over. I was already suspecting something at the time, but I just said okay and hung up the phone, going about my day. It troubled me for the rest of the day, but I called her the exact same night, and she confessed her girlfriends and her had made up this story on a fake account, on which they were all taking turns and talking with me, trying to prove to her how bad of a boyfriend I was. Call me stupid, but she came back crying again. I was in love. I let it slide, lecturing her heavily. The truth is she broke my trust once again. From there it was only downhill. You will love it. 1 week later, in January, she came ringing to my door unannounced. We never lived together 100% at 8 a.m., telling me she spent the whole night out and was just raped. She was in a very bad state. I knew she had a party the night before, so I called every friend I had to gather as much information on the perpetrator as possible. I never was as close to kill someone as I was this day. The friend who warned me about her friends answered his phone, telling me he left early, but he saw her very close and flirting with a guy that fitted the exact description she made of the supposed perpetrator. I thanked him and told her to go to the police, but she refused, kept crying, and tried to gaslight me and make excuses like they are not going to do anything anyways. I did not believe her. I knew her very well, and it all felt like some plot to test me while justifying her behavior. So I very politely told her to get the duck of my flat, and decided to forget about her once and for all. I cried all the tears I had, unsure of what just happened. If she lied on something this big, then it definitely wasn't the first time she lied. Then it all became clear. I remembered all the times where something felt off, like when she rang to my door. I had no evidence, but it was enough to get me to stop crying and enter the second phase of mourning, anger. It was the feeling I knew the most for most of my life. So, as usual, I washed it ashore by going to the gym, and even went living at my dad's for a couple days, which allowed me to process my mourning faster and get back to my celibate's life in my student flat. It didn't end that way, however, as she came back unannounced one day at 10 p.m. ringing. I thought it was my neighbor, as she needed help all the time for her hot water tank, and was paying me for the service, so I opened with a smile, and there I saw her. My ex-girlfriend was at my door with 2 pizzas and a big smile. Here is our conversation. Me: what do you want? Her: I'm sorry. Me: I don't want you here. Her: I brought pizzas. We have things to say to each other, both of us. We never talked since it happened. Me: I'm not hungry. Her: please, I need to talk with you. Me: making room for her to come in TSK. We sat down on the bed, as I have a very small flat, with only one bed and a table in a room. Her: I'm so sorry. Me: unresponsive. Her: starts to open the pizzas. Me: watching the documentary on ancient Egypt I was watching before she arrived. Her: unsure about what to do. Starts eating. You are not hungry. Me: I already told you that. If you have things to say, go ahead, but don't expect me to say anything back. Her: oh right, I'm sorry I lied to you about what happened at the party. I was drunk and I wasn't really sure it had happened at the end, but I really love you and you did nothing. Me: super angry and disappointed. You never drink. Stop lying. As the friend told me what happened, he saw you flirting with how the same night. Her: unable to process, starts to cry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, goes on for an eternity, me. If you are done, go. I don't ever want to see you ever again. Asterisk, I was still loving her. But the shame and pain feelings were too much for me to process, and as she wasn't leaving, I eventually stopped feeling anything and my mind went blank, about to cry. I decided to focus back on the TV asterisk. Her, can I have a last hug? I promise I will go after, so please let me hug you one last time, asterisk me, asterisk wanting it to end ASAP, asterisk HM. Asterisk, it didn't mean anything, I just wanted it to end, asterisk. Her, asterisk hugging me tight and trying to caress my back, asterisk me. Asterisk uncomfortable, not moving. Fidgeting when she tried to caress my back, asterisk her, there is something I want to ask you. Before I go, asterisk hesitates, asterisk, me, HM her. Can we make love one last time, please? This was the end of our conversation. My mind went numb from all of this. I suddenly wanted payback and figured, yeah, duck it. Let's do it one last time since we're at it. She started undressing immediately. After I started touching her hips and tried to kiss me. But I was reluctant to do it. I grabbed her by her neck and pushed her. Then I undressed a swell, call me an asterisk shoal or whatever. Needless to say, I treated her like meat. And even enjoyed insulting her in the process. I was not able to recognize myself after what I did. But at least I broke her back and knees that night like I never did to anyone, and somehow I was the one that lifted her up. And I'm sure nobody did it with such energy, and it somehow eased my pain. Then and kicked her out, blocked her from everywhere, and never talked to her again. She kept sending me messages for a couple weeks. But I never responded as I knew it wouldn't be the right thing to do. Voila, it's the end of the story. It's been more than 6 months. I'm still in the accepting phase of mourning. But I keep going to the gym and seeing how friends could influence one's life, I started making room in my friends list and only kept the productive, hard-working, trustworthy friends around me. I recently realized I need to heal from her trauma. It was obviously more than one person could handle, and I realized what she shared with me. What I helped her heal from was also waiting on me. It still is. And I haven't had Shreks with another woman for the last 6 months. A friend of mine tried to come out with her feelings when I broke up with my ex, including one of my other exes, but I'm trying to heal and better myself first. I think I need to show up to the next one with clarity, protection, and love. I wouldn't be able to do so right now, but I'm living my best life. I hope you enjoyed my story. If you are still reading this mess, I have to thank you for your time. If you have any question, suggestion, or advice, don't hesitate to ask, as I think I will read answers for a couple days. Not to into social media once again, but I might start to like Reddit now that I started using it, who knows. Oh, and also forgive my mistakes. English isn't my native language. Peace.